stay still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. And I've heard you've been here before, but I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. Babe, I wanna know, is it heartfelt or maybe just a little? Cause you don't really see me like you used to, but you hold on to me cause all you do is settle. I've heard you've been here before. Stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusted to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. But I don't stay the same, it's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusted to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to. If I stay still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. And I've heard you've been here before, but I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to.
Hello.
Oh, goodness.
Internet land.
It's talk radio voice.
No, it's not.
Oh.
That's the smooth jazz voice. 3 a.m. smooth jazz.
Okay.
Want to listen to my saxophone
Who's listening to smooth jazz?
at 3 a.m.?
Yeah. Oh.
Smooth jazzers.
I used to listen to smooth
Sax.
jazz.
I don't mind smooth jazz, actually. I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on here, but it was like you got inundated. That's better. Inundated
No.
with so much saxophone in the 80s.
Yeah.
especially with jazz and pop rock. It's just
Too much.
bleh. So smooth jazz with no saxophone, super amazing.
Mm.
Like guitars, horns.
I just like jazz. I don't think I like smooth jazz because it reminds me makes me go to sleep.
It just depends on the artist.
No.
No, it does. Yeah,
It's smooth for a reason
it's smooth,
to make you go to sleep.
like sandwich spread,
Ah! Like mayonnaise.
smooth to the groove.
Smooth like peanut butter.
Oh,
Unless it's crunchy.
then it wouldn't be. Oh, I can't drink. Well, welcome everybody. We made it to a Friday. Hopefully you were there. If you're not there, you are missing out on the best podcast in the greater area of wherever you live. Those are just facts.
Nailed it. How you
Just facts. Just facts.
I don't
The
think that's
best
how that works.
podcast in the greater
Playing in
rural
your
area
mic.
of your house.
Yeah. Keep it in my face.
What? Okay. Say that again.
I keep hitting my face.
Oh, I thought you said it came at my face.
No, I said
I was like, well, sometimes it does that.
keep hitting my face.
Are you sure you don't want to listen to my
Yes.
saxophone?
Let's drink.
Let's drink. All right. Shot
Friday.
of the night. Another proper. Slanchava.
Salud.
Welcome to Friday. Ready? Yeah. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Right at the beginning. Always whatever housekeeping, cleaning,
Sponsors.
whatever that is. But yeah, sign up for our Patreon. What is it? 3.
What are you looking over there?
Because it's right here. Putting it on the screen. Sign up for our Patreon. It's $3 a month. Make sure and check that out. That's us at patreon.com. It says right there, patreon.com/Sarah and Scooter. That's Sarah with an H. And don't put an ampersand in there. Wow, I'm enunciating.
That's how my brain feels
My
today.
emphasis. Well, and now I can understand where you're coming from because I did a lot of your business work recently,
Yeah.
and my creativity in life is gone. It's just gone. No, it's like I'm like my creative thought process is like fizzled out. I don't have room, so I'm just boring right now.
So are
this
you
is-
saying I'm boring?
No, you're not a creative. You're an analytical person more than a creative person.
Okay.
I'm more of a creative person than an analytical person. Even though I'm decent, I'm very analytical, but I feel like I'm 55 creative, 45 analytical.
Okay.
You're like 90 analytical.
But
and
you're
creative.
saying now that you're more analytical, you're boring.
No. I didn't say that. I was saying less creative.
What?
You're
Wait,
saying only creative people are interesting? That's what I
I
think
feel like
that's
that's
what
what
saying.
you're saying.
No, I did not say that. Maybe you took it that way. But maybe you're, putting intentions into my actions.
Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe you're, what do they call it?
Did anybody else feel that way? Take a group vote right now.
You are definitely not boring. You
I am boring.
It's all relative.
I know that I am.
No, you are a lot less boring to the norm of human beings. But when it comes to spastic people like maybe me, you might be more boring than a spastic person like me. But on that end, a spastic person like me can be very offensive. Like people don't want that in their life. I'm experiencing that these days. Like there's certain people that's like, I don't want to hang out with you anymore because you're too much. I was like, but I was like this when we met. And I think that person goes, well, I grew up and you just keep being spazzy. I'm like, I don't know. I moved on from that.
Yeah.
Yes, so go to patreon.com, Sarah and Scooter, Sarah with an H, and don't put an ampersand in there.
Nope.
Sponsors. What's really cool about this is Elever Consulting. Make sure to go to eleverconsulting.com for a complimentary introductory consultation.
Yeah.
I said it with an accent.
Yeah.
And it's my accent.
Yeah.
It's my own. Eleverconsulting.com. We are actually the person that sponsors this podcast. The 2 companies that we are going to actually go visit. Elever Consulting, Lucy, here next
I thought
month.
you were saying we were going to visit both.
We're
I was like,
trying.
we're going to
We're trying. We put out that challenge. We'd have put out that challenge for, what was it, for October, for Urel to come to Aftershock. that was the challenge put out there. We'd like to go to Houston. Just there's not a lot of things that we have that go in that direction. You know?
That's fair.
So if we went there, it would be
It was just
it would be go for maybe a concert
Yeah.
or something, or a restaurant or something like that.
Yeah.
And we'd go there and then we'd go hang out with Urel. So that definitely could happen. Yeah. So leverconsulting.com.
And our other, speaking of Urel, Yaya's embroidery on
Yeah.
the gram. I'm a B&H shirt on again.
Embroidery?
Made this shirt, Superman.
And let's top down while she's showing her chest. Top down, baby. Make sure to look in here. Check these out. These are
Just
the
hats.
embroideries. These are some. What do you mean? Just
I'm saying if it's audio, it's hats.
if you're looking for breasts, all you're seeing right now is hats. So sorry to
You
disappoint.
made it seem like something else is going on.
But if you know what our podcast is about, you'd be impressed by this. Check out
Yes.
these things. These are our custom hats that we got from Urel, Yaya's embroidery. So the quality on these is insane. I don't think we found anything yet that she can't put something on it. So let's go into there. Check those out. Make sure to go to Yaya's embroidery on the Instagram. They are Yaya's embroidery, and Lever Consulting is linked in every description on our YouTube. So for the last 50 episodes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's 50, but at least.
It's been a minute.
So we have some really amazing human beings that are fans of the show, and they sponsor the show. They actually, not just by giving our our listeners, our fans, the 10% off from Yaya's embroidery, 10% off the whole order. Sometimes we get some custom stuff, just random stuff in the mail, and I was like, I'm gonna cry because I was like, she's so nice. And then on the flip side, we do, when it comes to Lever Consulting, financially, we are to keep this up as a stream and as a podcast and all this types of things. It is 100% funded by that financially. Like all the fancy equipment, no, that's something stupid I did. But the requirements to get this up and going is definitely through a Lever Consulting.
Yeah.
So.
And Urel said she's trying to get her husband and talk her husband into going.
To where?
Aftershock.
Yeah.
I'm looking for events in October in the meantime. No.
Well, I'm telling you, if you find something cool, an event there in Houston,
But
let
not
us.
between the months of
Just
hot to sweaty hot.
No, I'm just saying, if you ever message us with something with in Houston, it might tickle our fancy.
Yeah, especially after May.
Yeah,
Gets
and every
done.
once in a while, our fancy needs to be tickled.
That's a weird statement, but sure.
Our ear needs to be bent.
What is this old man saying you're using?
Can I bend your ear? Can I tickle your fancy?
Nobody says that.
Can I go hang out with Winona's big brown beaver?
What? That seems really inappropriate.
It's a music reference, and if you don't get it, I'm sorry.
I don't get it.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about some good things.
Let's go.
Good thing. You just test out my buttons.
Buttons. I chested out. I chested.
Yours or
See,
mine?
now I've been talking about you unzipping your shirt. I'm like, everything's chested. Chested
So weird.
out. No, I tested out mine earlier.
Oh.
So they're probably in the queue and loaded.
Well, because mine wasn't even on. I sat
No, it
down.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, talent.
No, I was just like, I didn't know if my buttons were going to work because it wasn't on.
Oh,
That was
well,
all.
now we know.
That was all.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe. Real American hero.
Is that
You're
your
welcome.
good thing?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I have 3. What you got?
It's totally the wrong tune. But okay. I have 3, but I know that you're going to take one.
Okay, then I'll start with the one we're going to take.
Go.
Little Rosemary turned 2.
2. What's her name? Rosemary, a.k.a. Sativa, a.k.a. Indica. What do you call her?
Crazy girl.
She was born on 420.
She was born on
people.
420, which is I thought was hilarious.
When she gets older, I'm going to call her these names.
They'll be like, so old.
Like, you're so weird. She's not about being old.
She will.
She'll be
All
like,
young people
"You're
think
weird.
if you say weird stuff, it's because you're old.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're young and you're in your like mid 20s, you're just old and gonna die.
Yeah,
that's how they feel. I'm like,
yes.
Well, you're dumb and little, and I want to flick you in the forehead.
Well, yes, our niece Rosemary turned 2 on Sunday, and so she had a shindig on Saturday. And Rebecca does what Rebecca does. There was
it went big. It went hard.
It was fun. I think I got there I helped set up at what 10:30, 11. And then I came back to get Scooter, and then we stayed till 1 a.m.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I thought we went home early. That's pretty early.
No, it wasn't early. It was late because I had to drive her.
We had to drive a certain person to their hotel because they grabbed their keys and headed out, but they could barely walk. I was like, if you have to lean on every wall to get out of this house, you're not using your keys whatsoever. And also, like, tell me I need to listen to the band Ghost one more time. Because it was adorable. I thought it was adorable. It was very fun. She was amazing. She was great.
She just doesn't
go out a lot.
Yeah.
And she had a couple too many drinks. Yeah. It was like, she wasn't belligerent. She wasn't mean.
Yeah. We said, give your keys. And she said,
she was fine. She was very adorable, very fun to hang out with, and very fun to have conversations with her, and to watch her slip into intoxication was kind of fun to watch.
Well, because it's also, she didn't know anybody there except for Becca and me. Yeah. And so she's like, Becca's busy.
She clinged on. Then she clinged on to you, and then she clinged on to me.
Yeah. She's like, I need someone to hang out. And then she's like, I was really hoping the dogs would be here, so I had somebody to sit with. And I was like, you could talk with us. It's fine. Come join the group.
Yeah, she clinged on to me and then Aaron and back and forth. So it was really nice. She's very sweet.
Yeah, she's fine. Trying to get her to play that the banana pancake tiger game.
What? She was just yelling at people. She wasn't even playing the game.
She would do the thing,
but she wasn't
playing after everyone else.
Playing the game. Actually.
No, and then just kept yelling. I did it. And I was like, but you were last. She's like, I know. I'm like, that's not good to be last. Why are you yelling at us?
She's also sitting on the couch and not playing the game. She'll play like every 4th round. She like wakes up and goes, oh.
I know.
I have some of that on video. It's pretty fun.
But all the nieces and nephews were all there. And there was a game truck. There was a little ball pit.
Yeah, video game truck. That was cool.
Yeah. Good cake.
Good cake.
Good cake. Good food.
Amazing cake. The food was catered.
Yeah.
Barbecue joint. Well, I wasn't really catered. They would. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it was
but
catered.
nobody there to serve it. Whatever. But food's always good. The egg roll's amazing.
Yeah.
Brisket, come on, dude. The brisket, and we ate ribs for days afterwards. So I did have some mac and cheese while I was there.
I didn't have any mac.
But I don't.
Cabbage was good.
Cabbage was good.
Yeah.
Just like a platter of cabbage, and I'm like, who does that?
A turkey in it. It was
Seriously,
good.
I was looking. I was like, who does that?
Yeah.
And I go, big scoop. I was like, that looks good. Yeah.
Elise was bartender again.
Yes. Our 22-year-old daughter, she was bartending. That was adorable. I like, because she's not a very social kind of person.
Yeah.
So getting her behind the bar, she just kind of does her thing, doesn't really talk much, but she's really good at it. So she had a good time.
Yeah. I
think she had a good time. She made a little bit of money.
Yeah.
If you can coerce her with a little bit of money, she's usually happy.
Yeah.
So.
And cake. It was so funny. So she asked
food to take home.
She asked for one piece of cake. And so Mariah brought it to her. Mariah came out and she said, Lisa took one bite and she wants to know if she can have another piece of cake. I'm like, she's got to finish the cake she has first. And she's like, she says for Ben. I was like, fine, Ben can have a piece of cake.
So she's going to bring home the piece with the bite missing for Ben.
That's Ben. And then
she gets a full
whichever
cake.
one's bigger is going to be Lisa.
Yeah. That's what you get. She's firstborn.
Yeah, she's firstborn. And then, but man, we did a cake from Midtown Bakery. Again, I tell everybody, it is the best. I talked about it when I was talking to pilots. The best bakery that I've been to. It's so consistent and delicious.
Yeah, I finished a piece of cake.
Yeah.
I'm not a cake person at all. I'm just not. I like sweets. I like baked goods, but in small little like cheesecake.
Yeah.
It's good carrot cake if it's done correctly. Those guys,
Man.
but chocolate cake, I'm like, oh, that's good, or
Yeah.
vanilla cake or stuff. It's like, oh, that's good. Man, was this good?
It's
It
the
was
best.
moist
Ridiculous.
by definition
but
of the
it
word.
truly is.
It is what? Moist.
Yeah.
It's not moist. It's moist.
That's enough of that.
It was moist.
It was. It was delicious.
Moist.
Delicious. I'm just gonna get it for every event.
Almost sounds like I'm saying moist.
I know.
Moist.
And I saw that they make a vanilla with vanilla buttercream, and I was like, I didn't know.
Make a vanilla cake.
Yeah,
I was like, make vanilla with vanilla butter. I was like,
vanilla
what?
cake with vanilla
Ah,
buttercream.
I was like, how else do you
I
make?
want to know what it
vanilla
is.
cream?
Now. I know if they've done a strawberry one, which is also really
For
good.
real?
Mm-hmm.
That's not my thing. I'm not a
It wasn't as good. I mean, it was good, but
put like fruit in a cake.
Yeah.
Because I ain't no fruit cake.
it didn't have fruit in it though. It's just strawberry flavored.
Oh, I was saying like you literally said strawberry.
It's just strawberry flavored. There's no slices of strawberry in it.
There's no strawberry in it at all.
Well, there's strawberry flavoring and like
Is that-
nectar,
So that's strawberry.
but there's not like
It's like a reduced
slices of
strawberry jam
strawberry.
of something.
There's no jam.
Well, it's
It's
how do you get
delicious.
strawberry flavor? Excuse me.
You made a bourbon.
So if it's imitation vanilla, what is it?
Beaver.
Beaver butt. Okay. So if it's strawberry flavoring, is it what?
It's not strawberry flavoring.
Tarantula butt?
I'm just
Like-
saying it's like strawberry nectar. It's not like slices of strawberry.
What do you mean strawberry nectar? Strawberry nectar is part of strawberries.
Yes, but it's saying it's not fruit slices in the cake.
It's still fruit. It
But
has
you eat
fruit in it.
cheesecake with strawberry on it. What's the difference?
Well, I shove the strawberry off and then eat the cheesecake and then eat the strawberry later. It's true.
Hi, Bailey. Bailey says, Friday yays, and she has tequila. Woot woot.
Oh, what?
Bailey's got tequila.
Friday yays.
Yeah.
I thought you said ready A's.
No.
And I'm like, she's an Oakland fan?
I don't think so. Pretty sure she's a Mariners fan.
Mariners. I think her Hubson.
Her Hubson.
I think her Hubson is in a Mariners game. I think.
Man, it's like watching my brain in front of me.
Speak.
That's
yeah.
how my brain has been feeling all day. I just haven't said words because I feel like that's what it feels like in there today.
Yeah, it's because I'm used to carrying this podcast.
What are you
That's
talking
my
about?
slow brooding look.
Okay.
I'm brooding.
Oh my
See
gosh.
me brood?
She says she has the girl. Bailey says she has the girls by herself for the weekend. You got this. We believe in you.
Oh, so she has littles?
Yeah.
For the weekend by herself? Well, that means shot 30. No. So shout out to you for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your good thing.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Baby sativa.
Baby
Baby sativa turn 2.
Yeah.
I
Baby
think indica is a
Baby
cool
Shug.
name.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
Yes, cool name.
Baby indica. Mine I have 2, but I'll just go with the one. I got the car washed.
You did. How'd you feel about it?
They didn't do a great job.
No.
But it was $20. You know?
Yeah.
They didn't wash the wheels. I was just like,
Oh, bummer. Did you click the wrong one?
no, click.
Did you tell them the wrong one?
No, I told him the $18 one.
And the person after you got out didn't do the.
No,
Why didn't you say something?
because I flipped him off and was trying to run him over. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. They said you're good, and I was like, all right.
No, I'm not good. My tires are dirty.
I don't know what to expect with those places. I really don't, because some days, there was one time I went through that car wash, and it was like this little, those little hoses that kind of drip into the garden.
Yeah.
I had like 2 of those go the whole time. So I had a line of water and nothing else. And I went and go, what happened? So they put me through again and upgraded me. And I'm like, from a drip that dripped onto my car, like, I don't know, it was like somebody was drooling.
That's weird.
It was really bad.
that same one?
Yes.
Interesting.
So I've never had a good experience there. I've
Oh,
never had a
stop
good
going.
experience. Well, I was like, where else am I going to go?
Go to the Chevron one.
That one's never working.
The one by Costco?
Oh, I don't go there.
It's brand new.
I haven't gone there.
It works right now.
I went to Costco too.
Hmm.
I should have done that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't, but I did get it washed. Because you use it for a couple audits or a couple of things for your work, and it came back so full of bugs on the outside.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I hit them all.
Like, did you go and work at a locust farm? Like,
There's a lot of bugs.
yeah.
I don't tell you.
Big ones.
Spring.
I had like
springing.
oh, spring be sprung. But yeah, I got the car washed, so I always feel better when the outside of my car is washed.
Yeah, that's fair.
It just feels better. Feels like it drives faster.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know.
I went with CJ to his junior college orientation.
Yes.
And that was real boring. But
it was only an hour and a half.
It was only an hour and a half. I did get a ticket that I haven't paid for. I might make myself a mental note that I'm gonna forget.
Parking ticket.
But yeah, it was cute. There was like I wasn't the only like mom in there. There was other moms in there, which I was like, and dads.
And dads.
Yeah. There's one chick had her mom and her dad. And I was like, where do they think you're going?
I mean,
but
college.
It was cute.
Still, it's like you don't know where these people are at.
I know.
This might be their first kid that ever took a freshman year in college, period.
Yeah.
Whether it be in a junior college or not.
Yeah.
I was like, there's so many of us that in the world that have never had the opportunity. It's not about choosing not to.
Yeah.
But a lot of people just never had the opportunity.
Yeah.
They can't do it because they can't afford it. It's not even available in their area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
it was nice. Oh, know what he said, which I thought was, I don't know why it's not a thing yet. He was saying that they're moving towards all community colleges in California all have the same class numbers. So English 101 here is English 101 there. Comms 100 is Comms 100. And even better, even the betterest thing.
Betterest.
The UCs and CSUs all have to do the same thing.
Perfect.
They have to. Their undergrad classes, like their general ed classes, have to be the same numbers as the community colleges.
I'm telling you right now.
I'm like, why was this not a thing before?
I understand that, but I understand what you're saying, but the things that California does when it comes to college education is leaps and bounds.
Yeah, that's true.
Above it. There's certain, I think New York's really good at it. Massachusetts is really good at it. Washington State is really good at it. California is really good at it. They're always looking to make your college education better and more efficient.
Yeah.
So more people will attend because it's so confusing. Especially if you're going to go to out-of-state college, it's like, I don't even know, what do I take? I take this class. Like, oh, it's the equivalent to a 101. I was like, then call it a 101. It's equivalent to a second year algebra. And I'm like, well, then call it 201.
Right.
Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, these numbers have been around for a minute.
Yeah.
So
that was cool.
That's really cool.
Cool leap.
Yeah.
What else you got? Is that your only good
thing?
thing?
My other good thing.
Yeah.
It's not really a good thing with us, but the good thing in the community. As of Thursday, today is Friday. Thursday, brand new in the Sacramento area is a very nice. I've seen some videos and I saw the first performance of a music venue that has opened on Thursday.
What's it called?
Channel 24.
Nice.
I don't know what that means.
Me either.
But I should probably know. But no, it looks similar to like if you took, I don't know if anybody knows the Moore Theater in Seattle. It looks similar to it's wide. It's wide and has like some standing room on the ground, so you could probably put chairs there too, but you can have that. But then it also has like some balcony seats behind it, so you could have kind of.
That's cool.
Looks versatile
mm-hmm.
from the pictures and the videos and stuff like that. So they did have some opening acts. Cool thing is like one of your bigger, I don't even know who he is, but I guess his name's Tycho or something. He's a local kind of big Sacramento artist.
Okay.
That's who they opened with on Thursday night.
That's cool.
So that's pretty rad.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it was a local,
that's really
decently known artist. I was like, that's a really cool opening day because it's, representing Sacramento. So I'm really excited about that because now realistically there's 3 solid ones right now.
Yeah.
You've got Goldfield.
Yeah.
You've got
Ace of Spades.
Mm-hmm. And then now you have Channel 24. And I was like, 3 music venues.
Yeah.
That gives you a pull. So you could have hip hop, you could have R&B, you could have folk music, you could have metal. It just feels like when you have 3, you get a little bit more diversity in the pull.
That's cool.
In the artists. So
good job, Sacramento.
Very exciting.
Yeah. All right, my last one. I've already told Scooter this, but I was at a hotel the other day and I left my room for dinner, which I don't normally do. But I was
She
like,
went out of the room.
I went out of my room to eat.
Weird.
I went all the way downstairs.
Weird.
And that's it. So I sat there and I was like, oh, the thing is, I wanted salmon, and so I didn't want my room to smell like fish. So I was like, I'll just sit at the bar, have a beer, have my tequila, and I'll eat my fish. And so somebody had asked if I can scoot down one because there were 2 people, and I said sure. And so they ended up sitting, and we chatted, and there were 2 pilots, and they were very interesting. We talked about pilot stories, talked about how they got into being pilots, talked about where they live. But we sat and talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And Scooter's like, "You still there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're still just chatting."
I literally said, "Who are you?"
The funny thing is like I wasn't there to chat. I literally had I had an earpiece in on one side, and I was watching something when they asked me to scoot down. I was like, "Oh, sure." They started chatting. I'm like, well, I'm not going to be a dick and just not have a conversation.
Yeah.
That seems rude. But they were very interesting. And so the question that she asked,
we're going right into that, huh?
well, because it's not an advice thing, it's just a
It
question.
could be anywhere.
It's not.
We're hitting this in the good things
Yeah.
section.
Because they were good.
Okay,
things.
so Brenda.
Her name was Mo. If you could have another name, what would it be? You could have any other name. If your name wasn't Vincent or Scooter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sexy Beast. Rockstar.
I love how you go for like the not.
No, it wouldn't be a
Not
name.
name
I
names.
like my name. I don't have I don't think I've ever had a problem with. No, I mean, because I was nicknamed Scooter at like 1 or 2 years
Right.
old. So I've always had the
You've
name
always
Scooter.
had a second name.
Yeah, I've always had
Yeah.
Scooter. I've always had Vincent.
Yeah.
I've always had Scott. So my least favorite was probably Scott.
Yeah.
Just because I had it the longest and it's been
There's
tainted.
a lot of history behind that. name.
Yeah, there's a lot of negative history behind when I went by Scott. So name-wise, it would have to be something like that. It's
Okay.
not going to be like Franklin the Hoosier. I don't know. I was like,
Hoosier would be a cool first name. I said, well, my dad's name is Mac, and I kind of like the name Mackenzie for a girl.
what about just Mac?
I mean, yeah, because that could be your short. That's the
You could
short
be Mac.
version. What if I want to be both?
You could be Mac. How would you spell it? Mayk.
No,
That's make.
I think I would just leave it as it is.
MAC.
K. M-A-C-K.
Oh, MACK?
Yeah. You don't know
Not
my
just-
dad's name is M-A-C-K.
No. I was just saying, what I was saying, you're not going to, because then you become Mac Jr. and you're a female.
Right.
Makes sense.
That's why I like Mackenzie, but I can be shortened to Mac.
It'd still be Mac Jr.
No.
in my brain. No, it's like, so if you did Mac, it would be MAC, just to make it like still homage, but
no,
it's still
because then you
yours.
have Apple. See, I
Oh.
can't do Mac.
I just feel like it'd have been cool because there's so many. There was multiple Vincents in my
Yeah.
lineage. Go look that one up. And I just feel like it'd been cool if I had a little. What do they call it? What's that little slash thing that goes up?
Tilde? Is it a tilde?
Yeah, above the E or say so it'd be Vincent. You know, because I mean, from Canada, it could be.
But I
French.
mean, you could do it now. No one's gonna know.
So true.
What are they gonna do?
But yeah, I realistically, it would have to be something crazy weird for me to really be into it. I don't know. It would have to be something like that though. Like change it. I do want to change my name. Well, add Scooter to my legal name.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do that for years.
You want to be Vincent Scott Scooter?
Yes, Vincent Scott Scooter Hamilton. It's a great name.
It's a lot of names.
Yeah, but it's like. You know, it sounds like the ocean waves.
Stupid.
VSSH. You know, like, no?
You're ridiculous.
Doesn't that sound like an ocean wave?
It does sound like an ocean wave.
VSSH. If
Yeah.
somebody was in a comic book or something and you had the waves coming up, wouldn't that be the sound effect they'd write? VSSH. And you're like, oh, I know exactly what
Or a
that
car
sounds like.
driving by.
No, that's vroom.
Oh.
It's always going to be vroom.
That's what it sounds like, though. I was like, Shh.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Electric cars, they sound like this.
God, I hate the sound. I hate the sound of electric cars. It sounds like you're getting beamed up in a spaceship.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
sounds
does.
like a person going.
It doesn't. Okay,
It
you guys-
doesn't sound
you guys
that
noise.
cool.
It's awful.
But I feel like I think that some of them can be programmable, and I think that'd be cool if they did sound like they made it like a Star Trek.
Yeah.
When you open up the doors, like it was like the or like when you answer the
Yeah.
phone or something. I think you can still actually.
I wonder if they made it make noise though, because I mean, I
but
told
somebody
that
get
one
run
time
over.
when my uncle did get hit by a car,
Electric.
and I laughed.
Was it electric?
Yes.
So he didn't get run over. He just got pushed. Electric car. I mean,
My aunt told me I shouldn't have laughed because I didn't even know if he was safe or not. But it was just the thought of getting nudged by a Prius because you didn't hear it.
so he didn't get hit. He got nudged.
He got nudged.
Yeah.
He was
Did
fine.
he even fall over?
No.
I was like, well, I got where I was going faster.
Oh, it's good times. I'm not a nice person.
No, but I was like, we've all seen that. I mean, not everybody, but Office fans, if you're the Office fan, that does happen in an episode of The Office.
Yes.
He drives up under a certain speed limit so he can run him over. But you can't really run somebody over at that low speed. You just push them into a
Oh,
bush.
it's so good.
So, no, it's exciting. So, yeah, if you want to be called by something else or change your name.
Yeah.
Say change your name or called by something else.
If you could have another name,
So you add it to it or you just completely replace it?
I say replace.
I don't think I would.
But the thing is, it doesn't mean you don't have to like your name. You can still like your name and be like, oh, I always thought this name sounded nice for
I
me.
don't think so. I never had. I really look back and go, I don't think I've ever thought of a name. Oh, maybe Maverick,
I could see that for you.
something like that. And there was a couple reasons why. There was of course, Maverick
Top
from
Gun.
Top Gun, but it was also then there was a movie with what was his name? Australian.
Dundee.
No, Australian. Fury Road was the remake.
Max.
Yeah, Mad Max. Who
Yeah.
played Mad Max? For goodness sakes,
I don't know.
Gibson.
Oh, Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. There was a movie called Maverick, and he was like a gunslinger.
Oh, yeah, I seen
and
that.
and I was like, he's so cool right now. Like, either that or something like that, Maverick, or Magnum,
Magnum's crazy.
like Magnum PI. That's what I loved Magnum PI as a little tiny kid. I was like, this guy's cool. He had little tiny shorts on his chest and hair and a big mustache. I was like, this guy's so
Because you
cool.
look like your dad.
Well, my dad had a persona of being cool. I don't know if he was actually cool, but he had that 60s, 70s
Yeah.
cool guy look.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was actually cool, but he had the look of it. So any movie star that was out, like Burt Reynolds,
Right.
whoever I just said there.
Magnum PI.
Yeah, what's his name?
Selling.
Tom Selleck.
Selleck.
Yeah, Tom Selleck.
Selling.
Selling mustaches. Yeah, those kind of things. He had that look of like the 70s, like what was there? Barney Miller. All of those.
Matlock.
Yeah, but now
I'm just kidding.
I was like, no. No, it just had that look. So I was like, I don't know. So they were cool to me. But yeah, Top Gun was a huge, not Tom Cruise, but like,
I could see you being Maverick. A Maverick.
yeah,
Like, your name being Maverick.
yeah.
Not like you're fighting a fighter pilot.
No. But like Maverick, Maverick Star.
Okay, now.
Maverick.
I guess like
Yeah, Maverick Star.
a dancer.
Well, you never know. The Maverick Diggler. I'm the estranged uncle of Dirk.
Oh, jeez.
No?
You're ridiculous.
Come on now.
Hey, those are my good things.
All right. That was my good thing, too.
Rant of the week. Rant of the week.
Rant of the week.
I only have one. How many you have, sir? I'm gonna throw my pen at you.
I was trying to do the like,
Oh.
this just in, our rants of the week.
How many,
Mhm.
how many do you have?
I'm in rare form.
I know. It's good because I'm not.
Well, because I was in such a, not in a bad mood, just like serve the purpose. I only have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to go first?
up to you.
I'll go first.
Mine will be better.
It will be because mine. I mean, all I
Yours
did
is
this
about
week was travel,
traveling
so it's a
and
travel
petty.
rant. I don't understand.
Yours is gonna be petty.
It is petty. I don't understand when you go to a hotel and your only options are valet parking, and then they have the nerve to be like, your only option is either you can self park. Wait, you see that building down there for $45, or we'll park it for you for $50. And I'm like, are those options? Shouldn't parking, like, if I have to go do it myself, what am I giving you $45 for?
Yeah.
You're not going to watch my car. Every sign says if something happens, you don't care. Why am I giving you $45 to $50? Because they can.
Look at our past episodes. Let's talk about this tip culture.
And that was the other crazy thing. I was like, listen, if you're going to charge me $50, don't you dare have the nerve to be like, where's my tip? Your tip is in that $50. Go ask your boss where your tip is. Because I'm not tipping you if I have to pay $50 for my car to be parked. I don't care.
Yeah.
And also, I can see my car. You didn't go that far to get it. I can literally see where it's at. It's right there. I could walk and get it if I wanted to.
No.
I was like, I don't understand being forced to valet.
I can understand it, the concept of it. What I don't understand, will never understand, is why can't you just put that in the fee of the room?
Right.
Right? Because it's like it's the Ticketmaster mentality.
Yes.
The tickets are $25,
Mm-hmm.
but after fees and all this stuff, it's $75.
Yeah.
Which happens so often,
Every
it's
time.
disgusting. Now, I
Should be
don't
illegal.
now that was exaggeration. Realistically, oh, that's probably
No,
true.
that's right.
That's about right. Most tickets, no joke, have 50 to 75%
Yeah.
increase after you put it in the cart when you go to concert.
Yes.
It's disgusting.
It should be illegal.
Disgusting.
Someone should get on that,
Well,
but they won't.
no, we can't even figure out eggs.
Right.
For goodness sakes. We can't, we can't figure out eggs
Yeah.
and petrol.
Yeah.
Like, so how are we going to figure out Ticketmaster pricing? Because that's literally a luxury item.
Yeah.
So like, I don't care. So it's that mentality though, too. It really is like, hey, this room tonight is only $97.
That's where they got me.
And then you booked the room, it was like $225 a night after you're done.
I'm like, I'm saying $150 on parking.
Because then Vegas fixed that. They got rid of resort fees.
No, they didn't.
Oh, I thought they did.
Mm-mm.
No, you said they did.
Don't think so.
Oh, we talked about it on this.
Did we?
Maybe it was a pipe dream. Maybe I was
Pretty sure
I was
Vegas still has
hoping.
resort fees.
Maybe it was when I used to have REM sleep before I started doing
I've had more REM sleep lately.
yeah. Because I haven't talked about creative things, so you have to come up with something. Yeah, I have this. There's an easy fix to this, and there was a TED talk about it years ago, and I think I've mentioned on here before. If you took, when it comes to our economic situation and everything we're doing, if we put people into a room that played games like World of Warcraft, or those open world where you had an economy and doing those types of things, if you put them into a room and created a fake situation, but the fake situation was actually reflecting our real
really
economy,
that
like they've done studies. When I say they, this person quoted them, I did not. But there's studies of those being able to fix a bad economy in World of Warcraft within like 3 months.
Yeah. I believe it.
So the concept is there.
Yeah.
It's just we so don't want to change what we're doing as a real human being. And I was like, well, we all have to kind of change a little bit.
Yeah.
And if we all change a little bit, then we change a lot of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's true.
So that type of thing.
That's my rant. My other
your
rant
rant?
is semi-global, so I won't bring that. I'll just tell you my rant later.
Oh no. Semi-global.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's upsetting. It's upsetting.
Okay.
That's all. People make me real mad. Can I say it? Should I say it on here?
People make you mad.
Yeah.
People make you mad.
I don't understand, and I think I've already talked to you about this, but I don't understand the thought process behind telling a country that's being bombed, you need to take a step back and give up what you have to end this because it's all your fault that this is happening. And it like, because I have a friend who's from Ukraine, and every time she posts something, I'm just like, my heart is breaking. And then to hear people be like, well, it's their fault. If they would just step back and give them whatever they wanted to be done. And I'm like, are you out of your flipping little minds? Because if this was any other place, if somebody came into your house and started taking your stuff and they're like, well, it will stop if you just give us what we want.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? You would be like, I'm not doing that.
That's our mentality though, right now. Like we have a high, I mean, let's do it on a local level. We have this, if I want it, I go take it.
Yeah.
We have that right now. Like it's on a, think about this in a local level. The Amazon packages that get stolen off your porch every month.
Right.
I mean, it's an epidemic.
It's crazy.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Because there's no repercussions.
Right.
Well, it's like, well, you didn't need that stuff, obviously.
Right.
The best thing to do is just,
Just let it go.
submit it to your insurance.
Right. Don't worry about it.
It's like, well, that's not how we hold each other accountable. So let's look at it on a local level. Look at it that way. So there's no, you don't even have to imagine it.
Right.
You're experiencing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like when somebody breaks into your car and steals it, there's literally nothing you can do but submit it to your insurance company, and then your insurance goes up. So basically your fault for having that kind of car.
Right. You shouldn't have the car.
No, they tell you that.
Yeah.
It was like, well, you shouldn't be parking on the street.
Right.
Well, then why is the street there? Like where do you want me to park it, in the living room?
Literally.
Yeah. So
But sorry. Somebody made a comment and I was like, what are we even saying right now?
You stay off that social media, baby.
It was the news. So it was like a news clip. And I'm like,
news is social media. Have we not learned this? News is not news.
Sorry, but it wasn't even like a broadcaster's opinion. It was
news is not
like
news.
a news conference.
Not how it works.
People in power were saying these things. And
News
I'm like,
is not news.
what is happening?
News is not news anymore.
Anyways,
So
I was
agree with you.
frustrated.
Yeah, and I agree.
Sorry.
My whole literally industry is about to go under.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not even a joke.
No.
That's actually, there's a lot going on in my whole industry that it could just be non-existent anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thing. So on to my rant.
Yes.
So since you want to take that global, if that's what you want to say, it's a strange expectation of other human beings. And I've had this since I was a teenager. If you do something as a profession, like that's what you do professionally,
Mhm.
and then somebody asks you, like a friend or a relative, to do that for them professionally.
Yeah.
They expect to pay for it, right? But they're like, it's my friend. The quality of it doesn't have to be like, 5-star for
Right.
them to give you a high rating. But there's this strange thing on the swing of the pendulum that goes the other direction. If you know how to do something and somebody asks you to do it, they want professional quality.
Yes.
When they don't want to give you money for it.
Correct.
If it's a favor, they always, for some reason, and I'm experiencing both sides of this pendulum right now, like literally right now. What I do for a living, like the D&D and RPGs, we teach like D&DS stuff with kids and those types of things. I organize, thousands of people that can play Dungeons and Dragons and board games, those type of things. So I had a friend reach out because they want to throw a party for a significant other, and they want at least 5 or 6 like charismatic players to play with them. And they're saying, and I will pay whatever it costs, whatever your rate is. That's that perception. And then the other thing where you do this as a hobby.
Yeah.
Right now, like what we're doing right now, it's a favor. that needs to be the quality of what's going on in this room, which the products inside of this room, hopefully you don't know where I live, but we're talking just to put on this production, the equipment's probably about 10 grand.
I don't like that number, but,
But they want that quality of a production
right.
at a remote location, because we do this for fun in our studio and have this fun as a favor. And I'm like, there's this weird, there's such a disconnect in that. And this has been happening to me since I was younger, because I became a professional floor cover, right? So if anybody was going to hire me to come over or ask me to come over and do floor covering, they first thing they said, it was like, what's your going rate to put in vinyl in my kitchen? What's your going rate to do it? That was their first question, right? But if I was going to play music or write a song, there was like, can you just do that as a favor? I'm like, no, like that costs me money to do that. It costs me time, money, effort to go to your party. You're inviting me to your party to perform, or to do something for your party or your thing. So I'm your friend. I should be sitting there enjoying the party or listening to the music or having fun. But no, I'm working. That's my invite. My invite to that place is you're inviting me to go work for free.
Yeah.
That's insane. The mentality of that is insane. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know why that's a disconnect. I just don't know why. Because literally a good friend of mine, I'm not going to put up, but is looking to hire me to organize setting up 5 or 6 people to play D&D, charismatic players and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, I do that for a living. That I do. And there's like, well, how much would that cost? But to set up all this equipment to do something, a live broadcast for somebody, you do it for free. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'll be sometimes.
Because if you don't, well, it's not how be. It's they don't understand. They literally don't understand what you do and how much work is involved, how much investment is involved, how much they just don't understand. They think you just show up and stuff happens. I was like, that's never the case.
Yeah.
Talk to about anybody in any sort of production, any sort of photography, art production, plays, all the money that and time that is spent so that you can show up for 1 hour and see something amazing is staggering. How much time and money it takes in it. But you just go, well, that was okay. I was like, shut up. You spent $7 to attend this thing. And you complained about the prices. You complained about the seats. You complained about, I was like, don't go.
Yeah.
But it's that same concept. I was like, I'm having, it's why I've been one of those people that like, I don't do a lot of favors. You know, my presence is my present.
My present is my present.
Or both. My presence is my present. You can say it either way, actually.
True.
Yeah. So I just look at it that way.
Yeah.
So I'm dealing with that. That's my rant right now. It's like, if you're going to ask somebody to do something that takes their time, effort, equipment, money, their own money, time, all that kind of stuff, and you're not willing to pay them because they're your friend, you should be just hiring somebody to do it.
Yeah.
Or hire your friend to do it. But you don't just expect it to be out of the kindness of their heart. When you expect somebody to do something out of the kindness of their heart, you're in the wrong.
True.
You're in the wrong. Because you talk about the same thing. It was like, somebody is willing to do you a favor.
Shut up and say thank you.
Shut up and say thank you.
Yeah.
It's on the other side too. I was like, if they said no, I mean, or is like, why would you put somebody in that situation to where they have to say no? Why did you even put them in that situation?
Because you needed help.
Yeah, you needed help.
Yeah.
Maybe needed help. Maybe needed some suggestions.
Yeah.
But instead of going, oh, so you got this. No, you got this. I was like, no, you don't know what getting this entails.
Right.
So you don't know if I got this. So other people care about what they do, and they care about the stuff that they do and the productions that they do and the photography that they do, the videography, the live streams that they do. Some people care about that stuff because their name's on it. Think about it. Like any live production that I do like this that's out in the world, my name's on it. Right? So if anybody wants to say, oh, this Scooter guy, but I was like, but my name's on it. So I was like, it's got to be at least it has to be even look like it had some effort to it.
Yeah.
But my experience over 30 years, because I've been doing stuff kind of like this or stuff in a profession that I'm not professional at since I was like a teenager, probably since I was like 16. More people are going to complain about the quality of the production than people that are just going to sit back and say that was nice.
Sure.
And somebody did it as a favor. And I know how these things pan out. I've seen them over and over, and I've never been proven wrong yet. Some more people are going to complain about how it went than people will say thank you for what you did.
True.
Just the way it goes.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes you gotta say, no, I can't do it.
But there are certain relationships that you're in that you're not allowed to.
That's also true.
Yeah.
That's when you just shut up and do it. And hopefully they just shut up and say thank you.
Talk about my relationship with you, by the way.
I know.
So I just shut up and do it.
Yeah. And I say thank you. And we move on. You know what's up? I only had one thing.
Sure.
I did a lot of research. I haven't been in it, guys. It's been a rough couple days.
Yeah, we say that a lot.
No, I even messaged Scooter yesterday. I was like, it's been a very big, like, miss my mom kind of couple days. I cried myself to sleep yesterday.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was rough.
Because once you get in that
I know.
cycle, I was
You just have to let it out.
and it's hard because it's hard to go. I don't know how to. It's not hard for me, but it's hard to find a way for anybody to support you.
Yeah.
In that realm.
Yeah.
And it's like, especially when you're like not here and you're traveling.
Mm.
I was like, I can't even sit next to you.
Right.
I can't even make you a soda water. I can't even, go get you a piece of cake, or I can't do any of that.
Yeah.
I just go, sorry,
Yeah.
love you. I was like, I can do nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I could send you something, it's like send you flowers, and you go, why the F would you spend? Right? I was like, that's definitely not something she'd want me to do.
Yeah.
She would be unhappy. So yeah.
I would be unhappy. I'd be confused.
It's one of the no. It's
Why
not.
Are you sending flowers?
Kind of. Some people do that.
Yeah, I know.
We're not those type of people.
That's why I would be confused.
Yeah, I understand
Like,
that.
do you think I'm mad?
Other people do that.
Yeah,
a lot, and they think it's so nice. But is it?
I mean, some people, that is what makes them happy.
Yeah,
they love a good gift
True.
showing up in the mail. The only thing I had is Sacramento Beer Week started today.
Yeah.
Woot woot.
And we'll be missing. This is my
Most
what's
of
up in there. Missing all of it. And Log Off tomorrow is having Lagerfest.
They
They're
are
having a full day of releasing loggers, and yeah, it's kind of a cool thing.
And we won't be there.
No, we have multiple things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Preparing for the job that I'm volunteering for. I was voluntold to do. The one I just ranted about.
That's their whole rant.
that. And then what?
It's a good cause.
Oh, I understand that. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's the expectation level versus what we can actually do, and then
But I don't think
meet those expectations.
I don't think they're expected. I think our expectations is bigger than theirs. That's my thought.
Kinda.
Because you want perfection.
No,
I'm over
I
here
want-
like set up my phone and and say here's what it is. I'm cool with that.
But they keep sending things for us to do better. And I'm like, well, it's 2 days before I need to be driving all the way out there. So I don't know.
But again, all they said is, can it be done? We could always just say, it can't.
Everything can be done.
Yeah.
It's one of those things like not overnight. I'm not going to stay up overnight, but I'm one of those people that would.
Right.
So, because I care. I actually do care.
You're a better person than me because I don't. Again, I'll put my cell phone and be like, let's go. Cell phone on a stand. Scooter would die. That's all I had for.
Depends on if it was your phone, yeah, I would die.
Why?
Because iPhone, I know how to figure out. No, yours would be go like clean your lens.
It has nothing to do with it being an Android.
It has to do with your phone.
It just means it needs to be clean.
Did I say Android? I said your phone. That's all I said.
Because you said you have to figure it out. And then you talked about the lens.
I said your phone. Because I'd have to figure it out. Because it's not the phone that I normally use. And your lens is always dirty. I did not say anything about Android. I was more talking about.
Basically did.
No, I was more talking about Samsung.
You're so funny.
Because Pixel is where it's at.
You don't even know.
I hear it.
Shout out! Woo!
I got one.
Same.
What do you got?
Christina is in San Bernardino right now.
Commandeering a kid?
For her baby to be born.
Commandeering a kid.
Well, she's adopting her.
That's not coming out of my vagina, but I'm taking it.
Any day, she's going to be a mama.
I think that's amazing.
I know.
It's one of the coolest things in the world. Like, I'm so anti-adoption.
Huh? It's like, you're confusing my brain.
Yeah, clip that one. No, for real. I think that's one of the most amazing things, surrogates in our day and age, to where we can have kids, even though, science or situation has not given you the ability to have kids.
Yeah.
So if you're out there having 17 kids and complaining about it, shut your dirty mouth.
Somebody wants one of your kids.
Shut your dirty mouth.
Probably a couple of them.
Just shut it. Okay?
I know.
Because there's a lot of people out there that it's a strong choice for them to have a kid.
Yeah. And
in my adult experience, I'm talking people my age, I know of at least 3 people that have highly benefited from not being raised by their biological parents. So, universe.
Not everyone's meant to be a parent.
Well, it's not, and it's also timing too.
Yeah.
You might not be meant to be a parent now,
right?
But later on, you are. I was like, I know, and I don't want to speak of the dead, but I'm going to. In a positive way. My stepmom had a kid and gave him up for adoption when she was young. But then also had, I think 3 kids afterwards. And after that, she went back and she reestablished communication with him years later. This is an old story, so it's old news. But it's good news. And they had a good relationship as adults and as friends, not as a mother and a son, but as friends. And it was like, we're biologically connected and all this kind of thing. So they had a lot of things in common, and they had a good adult relationship up until she passed. I don't know. There was probably ups and downs in there too, but I do know that it didn't go poorly. Yeah. But then there's other people with biological kids that they don't even speak to for their whole life.
Yep.
So you gotta take, not all people want to be parents. Some people accidentally become parents. And it's kind of disgusting to me to be an accidental parent more than once.
Yeah.
To me, that's insanity.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you know how it works.
Yeah, we already know it.
Yeah.
So if you're an accidental parent once, totally do understand that. Oops, we hooked up, having a kid, blah, blah, blah. But if you have multiple children because of oopsies, you're the problem.
Yeah.
Mathematically, you're the problem. And you can debate me all you want.
It's true.
I have 5 children. 2 of them biological, 3. You got to think about that. It was like, I chose, one was like not a mistake, but it was like, oops, we were married, but we weren't planning on this. So it wasn't planned. Second was planned. In my life, from my perspective, first one wasn't planned. Second one is super planned. The other 3, from my perspective, planned because they were already existed.
Right.
So it was like, I already knew it wasn't like, oops, I have 3 kids. It was a decision, so shut up. If you're having more than one kid accidentally, you're the problem.
Oh, Lord. Good shout out. Did you want to go to your shout out?
Yep.
Oh,
Speaking of the kid that wasn't, do you want to do a shot and a beer?
I'm gonna do water.
Okay. So yeah, that sounds good on air. So you're gonna drink the rest of that? All right. Mine is, speaking of the unintentional kid. That's who I'm talking about. Shout out to Ariel. She is, what do we say? Arms deep? Because you want to say, I don't know what to call it. Arms deep. She's up to her elbows in attempting, and I know she's going to complete it, to write her book. Not an autobiography, because we're not that popular yet. But she's writing a fantasy type novel, hero-esque kind of story, or not, depending on how it goes. But it's really cool to see somebody going through the challenges of trying to do something that they're passionate about, especially when it comes to writing a book. Good Lord. I understand just a very little bit of that because of things that we've published, but nothing to the level that she's working on. So it takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of Adderall. I don't know what she's taking to make sure she can stay focused. Because I would definitely need something to that effect. But yeah, shout out to her for not just attempting it, but I just know how some human beings work, and they're completion type humans. And I just know there's some completion type humans in my life, and multiple. I have quite a few that are my children that have this need to complete the mission, the
projects.
Yeah. And I just feel like it's cool to see people doing that. So
yeah,
Ariel's writing a book. I can't wait to get a test copy to, he was texting me about it last night and today. And just, it's curious. I'm always curious to how in the thought process when somebody's creating creating characters and creating stories and creating it's like, my biggest question is always, are you writing this for yourself, or are you writing it because people might be interested and want to get into it? If you write it for yourself, people will be into it.
Yeah.
That's been my biggest passion. I was like, if you're into it, you can read it. You'll see it. You'll feel it. If you were like trying to accommodate for other people and do it, it's like you're going to lose your way. So, and I think she's good at that. She's good at looking at a perspective as like, I really don't even know this character anymore. I was like, well, then, it's not coming from you.
Yeah.
Like, who are you writing this for? If you're writing it for yourself, product's going to be good. That's a song. That's any really good song, they wrote it for themselves.
Sure.
And then people are like, oh, that made me do this. I was like, that's not why I wrote it, what I meant by it, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's big in books, productions, movies, anything to that effect. YouTube videos. If you're doing it for views, you're not going to get the views.
That's true.
If you're doing it for the fun of it and the relationships, and because this is what you're into, because I'm into chatting with my wife. I mean, when the mics turn off, I'm chatty. And she has that same glossy-eyed look. Is like, I just want to go to bed.
Woo, okay? Said a lot of words.
I'm done. Spit on my mic. I got so
I'm like, hey, so it's 1. Did you want to?
Yeah.
Is it bedtime?
That not for real. This, she says it's not 1 o'clock right now. It's only 8 p.m.
No, I know, but I'm saying usually at 1 you're like talk, and I'm like, I get some sleep. I'm real tired.
I'm like, I still have 17 more ideas I need to run by you.
Can you write them down?
All right, just write me a check.
You put it in a book.
Just write me a check. I feel like some of my projects and things that I want to do, I think it's like I need to find a way to do a formal request with you.
What do you mean?
A formal request? Like, itemize it. This is what I want to do, and here's what I want to get out of it. Because I think you would read that quicker than me talking to you about it.
Probably.
That's what I'm saying. Then let's go back to the beginning of this, where you were offended by you being more analytical than creative. If I said
I didn't say that. I said boring. I said is you.
I said creative.
You said
and
I've been doing more of your work, and now I'm more boring.
I said less creative. I said less creative, and you related less creative to boring.
I think you said the words boring.
Maybe I did. And if I did say those things, I stand by them. Full circle.
Oh, jeez. All right. Do you have any entertainment stuff this week?
I do,
You want to
actually.
drink this first?
Oh, we're doing a shot. Anybody want to join us? I don't know who's watching, listening, but join us in a shot. Lunch of Val. Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
While you're coughing, I'm upset because I put in a request. Cheers, hero.
Cheers.
I put in a request for a room upgrade for where we're going this weekend.
Didn't happen.
They haven't said anything yet. I'm like, it's only a day. Just get my upgrade.
Well, I mean, we're going to Solvang, so you might have to write them a handwritten letter. You know.
Oh, I didn't tell my other funny story.
And contact the Pony Express.
This week before
Put on
you
a
move
train.
on. So, I went into.
You did not. I don't believe you.
I went to an appointment this week for work, and when I walked in, there was like a little. It looks like a lobby space. It was like a couch, and there was a table, and there was snacks, but it was dark. And so I walked in, and someone came out and said, "Oh, hi, Bo." I said, I'm here for whatever." They said, "Okay." They go ahead and have a seat, and he'll be right up. And I said, "Okay, cool." And so the guy's like, "Oh, he come back on. I should probably turn some lights on so you're not just sitting in the dark." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." So I stand up. The guy comes out. I say, "Hi, hello, how are you?" He says, "I'm blah." I said, "I'm Sarah." And this girl comes back out from the back with like a mold of like the biggest male part ever. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we make adult toys. I don't know if anybody told you that." I was like, "No, it's fine." It was massive. I was like, "What's that even for?"
Horse porn.
I have so many questions before we go anywhere. What is that? And
You
why
didn't
is
ask
it
that
here?
question?
Huh?
You didn't ask
What's
that
it
question?
for? No.
Oh, I totally would have.
No. And then he made a joke at the end because they're just all over the place, right? Because
Man,
it's
this
just the
is great.
silicone ones. And he's like, his joke was like, "Did you want one to take and put on your boss's desk?" I was like, "Well, I'm my own boss, so I don't want one on my desk."
It would have been better if you said, "Well, I'm my own boss, but yes, actually I do." Can I have what size was the molded one?
And then you go to his desk,
Is
which
that
is
boyfriend dildo or husband dildo? Which one?
you go to his desk and they're like making prototypes. So there's I was just like, what is I have a lot of questions. Tell me the process.
But you didn't ask the questions, did you?
I did. Because I
I
had
was
to
like,
know.
I would just like, do you have to take molds of actual people to make these?
Oh, I didn't think about asking that.
Because what if they do that? Then that's a whole different code.
No.
Yes, it is. If you're using another person to come in, are they contracted? Are they employees? Would they be covered under sticking their genitalia into a mold?
Well,
what if an accident happens?
so I know
are
they don't use people because I've watched the whole process happen. So.
I was like, but I would still ask that question. You know what?
Oh,
I think it'd
man.
be amazing. And I was like, so do you make anything for dudes? Or these, I mean, not to say that the dildos can be for dudes too. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, do you make innies instead of just outies?
I did. There wasn't any innies. There was a hand, which
Oh.
I didn't know what that, but it was just doing this.
Oh yeah, that's for like fisting and
Okay.
yeah, that's
Didn't
what that is.
Didn't ask. I'm glad you know. It's not a
Well, yeah,
family
I'm
podcast
an
anymore.
outie person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm an outie person.
But you know what's hilarious?
So I
They had
put stuff in things.
they had a whole box of mule sauce that they ship with them. I was like, why is mule sauce everywhere?
I'm trying to,
I don't know.
because that's a sticker mule
It's
company.
yes,
That mule
But-
sauce is a
but I-
sticker mule company.
I know. So they have
Are
their
they a part of Sticker Mule?
No. But I think they get their stickers from there because they put stickers on each package that goes out.
Okay.
Package. But it actually was a very interesting process because you go in there and they have 3, like, what do they call them? Shelves, 3 large shelves of mold.
Great.
And then they have like giant vats of like silicone that gets pumped in. And then they mix in different colors depending on what your order is and different sizes and shapes. And it was crazy.
That's amazing.
Everything is literally like whatever
Can
the
they do
person
like
orders.
a swirl? Like it's, you know, like
I'll send you their website so you can find out.
There's like the swirl one where, you know how we have that game that has the little balls that have the timer? Would they make one? Oh, do you know how it'd be so cool? If you could make one that has like, you know, the little ball timer where the ball spins down the thing and it's like takes 3 seconds for some of our games. What if you could take it and you go clink and the little thing swirls down a penis down once the testicle part of it is full, that's when the timer's done. It's kind of like a sand timer.
That would be ridiculous.
That would be amazing. That'd be so cool. I mean, we couldn't do it here,
Obviously.
but we could do it for, you know, at home games just for fun. I think that's great. So
yeah, that was an interesting one.
Well, that's a great.
Because their name did not match.
I could talk about this
their
all night.
operations.
This is hilarious.
And it was like
because I've never owned anything like that.
Everyone seems so happy there to work there.
Of course they are.
Everyone's just so chill.
They don't take cigarette breaks. They take
the room that I walked
different types of breaks. They take orgasm breaks.
The room that I walked into, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's our break room," and I was like, "You know, it's just the front entrance." It just made me laugh. He's like, he's giving me a tour. So that's our break room, and I was like, "The front door."
I mean, that's definitely such a niche market that you have to be into that stuff,
right?
To be in that market. You're just like, you seek that kind of job.
Right.
It doesn't just like, so I just ended up working at a dildo factory. And they're like, you don't end up there. Yeah. Right. Like you don't end up, it's like, it's something you're into and you're passionate about something to go there. My only question, let's rewind to the very beginning. Okay. So you went into a dark room.
Yes.
Right.
There was a lamp on.
There was a lamp on, dark room. When they turned the lights on, did you find out what was in the snack bowl?
I did.
What?
Well, I looked at the snacks before.
What were they?
It was chips and cookies and crackers. It was just boring snacks.
Not the little penis pop things. That'd been great. That'd be even better.
Literally just snacks.
Aw, see? I was kind of bummed.
Yeah, no, it was just snacks.
Oh, you deflated me.
Well, the funny thing is, when I walked in, the first thing I thought was, I wonder if I can have a snack because I hadn't eaten that yet. And he didn't offer, so I didn't ask. I was like,
but there's a bowl of snacks.
I know. Well, there was a whole table of snacks. That's what I'm saying. There was so many, but I was like, now I know it's your break room. It's for your employees. I'm not going to ask you for a snack. After.
I thought you
right. I didn't know till after.
Yeah, so you'd have just like,
I'm not going to take a
7
snack.
bags of Doritos.
Because it wasn't, again, it's not like you walked in and there was like a receptionist there. You just walk into a dark room.
I mean, what's a receptionist?
Right.
Why do they need one?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. But it was just so funny when the girl walked out with like, and she had 2 of them. She was like, "Wow, this is like." She just walks by. He's like,
"Could you imagine?
Oh, yeah, we make adult toys." I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, what?
Could you imagine? Here's all I could think about. Here was my vision. It's kind of like when you walk.
Oh, geez.
So you went to the optometrist, right?
Yeah.
and you know how they say when you're waiting for, you know, all the results and stuff to go over there and try on some frames. Mm-hmm. What if they had the receptionist office was a display and they're going, yeah, just while you're waiting, you know, for your designer, I'll just go over there and try on a few of our products.
Awful. That is awful.
That's all I could that's what I was thinking. I was like, you said there's not a receptionist. Like, but what if there was? What would the receptionist be doing? It was like, so here's our wall of samples.
Right.
So go ahead and feel free to try some of them on while you're waiting for your appointment.
Yeah. Could you imagine? Feel free to try them out. Pick them up. Shake them around.
No, try them out.
No, we're not trying this out.
That's hilarious. That's funny
But
in
yeah,
my head.
that
That's funny.
It was a very interesting one I went in. My first one where I was
Oh,
like,
that's great.
when she walked by, I was just like, are those giant wieners walking by? And he's like, oh yeah, we make adult toys. I'm like, okay.
Do you know what sucks though? Is if you said why are those giant wieners going through, yet they're just average sized.
It's no, you don't no, when I say giant, no, I'm not, it's like not humanly.
It's like a lamp.
Right. No, literally, it was like, I can't even tell you. It didn't make, some of them were jokes. Like people buy them to put on but literally for their boss's desk because they think it's funny. It's like this big. Yeah, he's not looking up.
I
literally, it's like this and like this.
Sorry.
It didn't make it. He even said, yeah, people just buy those to put on their boss's desk. I was like, I would hope so.
I would think it'd be hilarious.
I don't think it would be.
No, it would be funny in certain. I mean, it would be funny as a joke gift.
I could see
not for your boss.
I could see you sending that to Ryan and thinking it was hilarious.
Oh, he's probably going to listen to this if he doesn't. But it's like we were working on something. Even I approved it through his wife to send him something. It was like that was like a year ago. Jeez. But I talked to you about it.
Yeah, you did. I kind of remember.
It's kind of a pranky kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think he would think it was hilarious.
Yeah.
What's funny is if I send it to him, he'd be like, oh, I gotta send this to my buddies. Because it's just funny. Like, if we've lost our humanity enough to where a big dildo isn't funny, who are we anymore?
With
like
some mule sauce.
Yeah. Oh, seriously. But why would you? I mean, that I don't understand that disconnect.
Okay, because
there's niche and then there's like ultra niche,
because,
like hot sauce and dildos at the same time.
Because we get some with our stickers.
Scary.
No, they had a giant box of them, and I was like, "Are you putting that with?"
No, what I was saying is maybe they have some sort of contract deal with them.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
we'll make all your stickers for you.
Toss
you know,
in the boxes
as long as you send out the mule sauce, because we've had mule sauce because we've used Sticker Mule before.
Yeah.
They had some backlash.
Yeah.
From some things that went on in their company, but I think they've cleaned house. From what I understand. So we order stickers from them and some other people too. That's great. I think that's great.
I just left and I thought I have to tell Scooter this.
No, that's great. She told me everything before this. She told me everything about the story except for the snack bowl.
Yeah.
And the mule sauce.
Yeah. Because I kind of forgot until right now.
I didn't hear that part. I was like, those are important. I was like,
gosh.
You know what? Working with dildo molds really, I just feel kind of ish. I was like, I need a snack.
Yeah. And he's always doing well. He's been in business for over 10 years. Oh, this is 10th year anniversary.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure they had like an uptick during COVID.
I'm sure. I also realized how many people this year is their 10th something. Like every time I listen to something.
Really?
Because I'm thinking Errol and Tony just had 10 years.
But maybe it's because your ear is
listening for 10?
What did I say? Is lended. Your ear is lended. Lend me your ear. Lend me your ear.
So weird. No,
I said that earlier.
There's so many things that people are like, oh, it's like this year is my year 10. I'm like, did everyone just do stuff in 2015?
Yeah, but maybe this is you're leaning into the 10.
Maybe.
I mean, it'll be our.
I just thought it was odd.
Well, it's our 10-year anniversary this year. So
I know.
Maybe that's why you're hearing that more. It's kind of like, and everybody's experienced this. As soon as you buy a new car that you usually don't buy that kind of car, you see all those cars.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of that same, like when you're married, when you're first married, you notice everybody that's married. It's a thing. You have a baby. All of a sudden you notice all the babies. You have a new puppy. You notice all the new puppies. Like, I think it's just if you can relate to it, maybe that's why you're hearing it more prevalent. It might not be as frequent, but it's more relatable to you right now.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because, I mean, being married to this guy,
mm-hmm.
I mean, a long 10 years.
Long 10 years.
Yeah. That's a long 10 years. That's a career.
Literally. I think I'm a
It is.
professional now.
You are.
Professional being married to Scooter.
I've got to be, if you were ever in another relationship with another human being besides me, you'd be so patient. The next person is like, this is so easy. Like, why is this guy so high maintenance? You don't think that anymore.
Yes, I do.
Nah.
Yes,
You don't
I
act
do.
upon it. But the next guy, you'd be like, dang, this is like, I could just take naps. I can go to bed when I want. I don't have to check the bank account because he's not spending too much money. Great.
I don't think you're never going to be high maintenance. It's just who you are.
I'm not talking about that. I was just saying, I'm higher maintenance than most.
Yeah, I agree.
It is fact. Yeah. So that was good times. All right. That's great. I love that. So entertainment of the week, that's what we're about to get to.
Sorry, I had a story I wanted to share.
So I'll deflate it.
Huh?
It'll be boring now because I just talk about it in my entertainment. What's your entertainment?
I don't have one.
Yes, you do. Tribunal Justice.
I love Tribunal Justice.
Okay, go.
It wasn't really an interesting one this week. I did, and that's why I wasn't going to bring anything up because every week I just say Trevor Noah because he always has something interesting.
You are on a Trevor Noah trend right now, and I think that's because that's the podcast you're into right now.
I have 7.
No, I understand, but they go in waves. All podcasts go in waves.
Yeah.
Like mine's been Your Mom's House. That's been my like trending one because they're so cute together, because they're so unfiltered with each other, even on the mics.
Yeah.
And you can tell that when they laugh at each other, because I've seen them both on other podcasts, but when they laugh at each other, they're like, it's coming from their soul because they really think each other is probably the funniest person on the planet.
Right.
I really truly feel you can see that dynamic, and it's like, that gets me emotional because it's like, I love this, even though some of the jokes is like, that's too much for me, but the way that person looks at them and goes, and it's kind of like one of those things, like when I say something or you say something, I go, oh, so disgusting, but it's not, you're not saying it out of you're disgusting. It was like, you're so weird.
Yeah.
And that's why I love you so much, because you're so interesting, and it's kind of one of those. So that's where my trend is. I've had trends in Bad Friends and trends in Tiger Belly. And I've had trends in the more intellectual ones, like the Rainn Wilson one. What's the other guy? I can't remember. He was a writer. He was a writer for Chappelle. I was into him for a while. Benson, Blaine, whatever. I mean, it's not like he's gonna go, I can't believe that Scooter couldn't remember my name.
What's your entertainment? We never even got to it.
So my entertainment's been music.
Okay.
Because I don't have time to watch podcasts. There's been like 3 days in a row I didn't watch a podcast because I was working like a robot for, the man.
I think it's called just working.
For the Cogs. What's his name? Cogsworth.
I don't think it's called.
I was working for
I think it's called
Cogsworth.
being a robot. He talks crap about this job like he doesn't want it.
I don't want it. But I do like some aspects of it a lot. Some of the aspects are like very intriguing to me. So Soundgarden, for some reason, was on my radar again. Oh, what's happening? Oh, what are you doing now? Flipping me off? Picking your nose? Turn the camera on me?
I thought I had to sneeze. Why can't you just keep talking?
Because it's funnier. I did keep talking. There was no dead air. I just talked about now she's going to flip me off. She wants to so bad. I can describe her face right now.
Go.
She has the frowny face. You can see that middle finger twitching. She wants to flip me off. No, Soundgarden, for some reason, somebody mentioned, like, I was watching, like, how was it? I think it was Sweetwater. I watched their channel every once in a while, and they were doing riffs, like the best riffs of the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
and they were going UK against the United States, which was super cool because I was like, this is my era, right? I was like 80s big time, but it was more like hair metal stuff. So if you could do hair metal riffs of the 80s, I'm in.
Hair band or hair metal?
Hair metal, hair bands.
Okay. I never heard of hair metal. Sorry.
Leather rock. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know, butt rock.
What?
Yeah, there was a lot of it. They called it everything. It's like your Motley Crue. Motley Crue is a big one. Warrant, Kicks, Trickster, all those bands. But they did 90s. I was like, oh, okay, this is when I really kind of got into playing real guitar. So they mentioned Soundgarden, and there's a what's it called, Loud something. I don't know. There's an album that came out in 1994 that everybody like is in love with because it has like Black Hole Sun and has all the songs that you know about Soundgarden. But I was newly married. It was 1992. Yeah, I was newly married, but the album came out in 1991, I think. So I got married in 92, and then I was allowed to buy a tape, and it was Soundgarden's Bad Motor Finger. That album, I, from beginning to end, would listen to over and over because it was so freaking awesome. So they played, I think it was called 4th of July. I think maybe that's on the other album, but it was like the things that Soundgarden was doing at that time were like, people didn't know why they enjoyed them. They were just good. Like the tunings were like, nobody tuned like them. There was times where Chris Cornell would tune his guitar to every string was the note G.
Interesting. In
different octaves and just play stuff on. It was G. And they were like, what are you doing? They're like, it just sounds cool. So they do all that kind of stuff. They play on, guitars that are missing strings. They would just their sound. So discovering and going back, somebody playing stuff off of Bad Motor Finger. I mean, besides the popular songs, which I think the most popular was Outshined. That's a pretty popular one, but I was like, there's Jesus Christ Pose. There's what was the other one? Drawn Flies. There's just some of these songs you're like something in Bulldozers. Just every single song on that album I love. Like there's not a song in there I was like, I skip. I never skipped it. It was on tape. So I just listened to it front to back, front to back, front to back. So that came out. So I was like playing some of these songs in the background going, such a good song. And so instead of going on with that, that was very long. There's a song, it came out today, and I even showed you the video of it. I can't remember what it was called. What was it called? Something Lullaby. But it was Youngblood.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What a great song by Youngblood. I mean, I sent it to Bailey too. It's called Lovesick Lullaby by Youngblood. The last two songs that this dude has released is so good. So good. Like the other one's like 9 minutes long. The one before that. And it has like 3 different movements in the song, from like a melodic, kind of angelic to like poppy old school rock to like really mellow, I don't know, at the end, kind of an artsy sound ambience at the end. I was like, there's like 3 movements in that song. But then this last one was just like, it just felt like going out at 5 p.m. and partying with your buddies at the pub. That's what it felt like to me. And I was like, yeah, that felt good, didn't it? I was like, it was a feel good song. Yeah. It was a feel good, and it was Lovesick Lullaby. And I was like, so good, just so fun. So honorable mention, Sleep Token. did release another song today. Very good. A lot more poppy than their last two releases. But yeah. And these are all, I mean, Soundgarden's obviously no longer around, but these are newer artists. Like Youngblood's new-ish. You know, he's been around for a good 5 years or so. And Sleep Token's been around for like 3. So these check these people out because they're doing some things that they're selling out stadiums within a few years of being around. And they're playing instruments. Yeah. They're writing songs. They're not pushing samples, and nothing wrong with that. But I feel like might be a little bit of a shift to where people are playing instruments again.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. Yeah. Just putting it out there.
Right.
Cool. I was passionate about that one.
There you were. All right. So I have a question for you. Pee. Do you want to do a game or do you want to do advise me not? Because we're close to 9.
Well, not really. We got like 20 some minutes.
You want to chat? You want to play a game?
It's up to you.
No, it's not.
I will do both. I'm amped. So anything you talk about right now, I'm gonna be very highly opinionated about it.
All right. I guess
as long as it has to do with dildos.
Okay.
Or music. Those two topics. Good.
All right. Then I'm gonna do some advice.
Advise me not.
Okay. So it's blank for me because you told me you had a topic. Then at that,
I didn't say the word topic.
You had. Usually we've been doing this for 3 years. It's been about 3 years.
Okay.
So when somebody says, do you have something to talk about? That's the topic of the evening, correct?
Not always.
Okay, hold on. That's okay. So
anywho,
one out of
go pee and I will introduce the topic.
And then I'll think about it because I won't hear it.
I'll talk real loud. Just don't turn the fan on. So we're going to talk about friends. How many of us have them? Friends. So this has been something that came up like with a couple of people that I know. Really, as adults, not even making friends, how are we keeping the friends that we have? And if we've lost a friend that we want back, what are we doing about it? And the friends that we have, are they the people that we should be trying to keep around? Because I think we've talked about making friends as adults before, but this isn't even about making friends. It's about the people that we already have. I was talking with somebody and they're like, because once you have kids, sometimes it gets really hard to keep those friendship relationships going. It helps when you guys are like on the same page, you guys have kids the same age. But like if you have kids and your friends don't have kids, then it's like this drift that happens. And it's kind of like who should be making more of an effort? Should be a mutual effort? Should you be trying more? Should they be trying more? So I really want to have the conversation about like keeping friends. I don't do a lot of friends. I can't. Like I don't have the capacity to have like when people are like, "Oh, I have like 10, 15 friends." I'm like, I think I could name 4. I have like 2 really like my best friends. I have my sisters and I have like family friends. But the people that I have, like I know if I needed something, I could text Valerie or my friend Erlia and I know that they would be there. Right. Like to me, that's our relationship. But like my sister has some friends where she could text them and it could be like 2.5 weeks before they respond. And I'm like, I don't understand that. Like if I text Valerie and even if she forgets to text me back, she still texts me back the next like day and saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I thought I pressed send." So it's that weird thing of being an adult and not knowing like, how do you keep the friends you have? Do you want to? And if you're not as close with the friends that you have, how do you get back to that space? Can you? That's the question. That's the topic. Did you hear it all?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Why?
Because I feel like it stemmed from conversations I've been trying to have with you about certain things.
So the funny thing is, it wasn't. It actually stemmed from Becca.
But that's cool. That's even better.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's kind of like what you were talking about earlier. It was like you're noticing things in 10s. Like maybe it's because we're it's because of something that you've taught me to pay attention to the universe.
Yeah.
So if that type of conversation has happened more frequently lately and you're aware of it, maybe that's the cycle of life that's going, hey, maybe you should look into this.
For you
Right?
guys, yes.
Say that again.
I'm looking into it for you guys. Yes.
Okay, but I didn't hear it from her,
Right.
right? But you heard it from...
Well, the two people who have the most conversations with me are both had the conversation.
So maybe it's for you because you're hearing it from multiple people and the universe is going, hey,
your friends need help. How can you help them? Here we are.
This is why we need to get back to therapy because
Here
you're
we
very
are.
not introspective. You're not as introspective as you've been in the past.
It's also a podcast. I'm just joking. Obviously, I'm listening to the universe.
I'm offended.
Sure. I'm obviously listening to the universe. That's why I brought it up. So let's have the conversation, sir. What do you do? How do you handle the friends that you have? How do you keep the relationships you have going when you're not as close as you once were?
I literally don't.
Why?
I don't. There's no why in there. I was like,
So why?
I don't. I'm so consumed in myself that I don't. I'm not saying.
So if your friends don't reach out, you're not reaching out. Like if you have a friendship that's drifting.
I don't think that's true. Like, but I don't have any friendships that drift. If they've drifted to where we don't talk anymore, then we're not friends. Then we're not really good friends anymore. It's like, but I do get random texts from like, hey, miss you, bro. We should connect. I was like, cool, let's do that. And then we do. That's something that happens.
Yeah.
Or I'll do the same thing. It was like, hey, you crossed my mind, man. I've been thinking about you. What's up? So it's not I don't have a weekly night out with the boys or
I think you should, but yeah.
I don't have any boys.
You have a couple.
I have like 2.
Yeah.
In this area.
Right.
But I also have like 10 throughout the country. You know, so it was like, I do have my boys, but it was like, they're not, you know, none of them are in the same area code, not even the same state, most of them.
Yeah. Not none. Most.
2. I have 2 in this state.
Yeah. No. I need to know who the 10 are before I answer this question. Because I only know like 4, 5.
So it's just like,
I'm thinking you have people in the Bay. That's not that far.
I have like 2
in
the Bay.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 in this area.
Right.
1
in Atlanta.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Well, Georgia I have 1. Pacific Northwest, I don't know. I might have like 2.
But if you don't know, then
one
they...
of the boys has a vagina, but that's okay.
Right. But if you don't know, then is that a friendship relationship that you're like, I can message you and we're going to go right back where we were?
Yeah, those are all those.
Then I don't know who it is in the Northwest.
We're going to see her in June.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I got the one.
Yeah.
You said more than one. I knew Lucy.
Well, I would have to also say like, Ryan has become more than just my son-in-law now for multiple reasons, because he can take a joke. I mean, he still gets offended and I still get offended, but it's not like we don't get offended to where like, screw this guy. We're kind of like, yeah, that's just where they're coming from. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Doesn't outweigh the friendship and the how much we care about each other. I have to say, as Ariel and Bailey get older, they're becoming more my friend. I mean, they're still my babies, but they're becoming like buddies too, because we can tell each other like, I mean,
randomness stuff.
The stories that Ariel has told about exposing herself on accident. I was like, she's telling her dad these things. You know, I was like, this is funny. So there are some people up there, but the Northwest, realistically, most of the people that I was close in the Northwest have moved,
right,
or have passed away. You know, like at a young age, obviously, because I'm not that old. You know, but most of them have moved.
Yeah.
Like they've moved out of the Pacific Northwest. And here in California, there's only like a couple that I would consider like
You have more here than you have anywhere else.
no, I'd say the Bay. If I went back to the Bay, I could probably get 3 to 5 people back together and we would be like, the people that showed up to my 50th,
Right.
there was multiple people like from the Bay.
Yes. What I'm saying is those relationships that exist, how do we keep them strong?
I don't know how. I don't, because I do know that there's some people in my life that for some reason I feel like if I say something offensive or I disagree with what I feel very strongly that if I feel that because I have a strong opinion about everything.
Yes.
If I disagree with somebody on something that they have a strong opinion about, I do have this feeling that some of my friends is like, we can't be friends now. And I'm like, that's so weird to me. That's weird to me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the people that I call really good friends are the people that challenge me constantly. I don't want anybody that's just like me. I'm annoying. I want people that are different than me, that have different opinions than me, do different things in life. They experience different things. They're not the same. They don't come from the same background. They don't come from the same culture. Those are the people that I find endearing.
Yeah.
And find to be my good friends, because we can actually sit down and have a conversation and go, yeah, what'd you think about this? Yeah, that sucked. Cool. Like that. Now we're just either celebrating something that we both like, or we're hating on something that we both hate. And now we're not growing.
Yeah.
We're not like that. To me, that's, I want a difference in opinion. I was like, I will go, I will stand on anything to say that one of my biggest challenges as a friendship has always been Willie in Atlanta, in Georgia.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't agree with me on anything except for Outcast. I think our common ground is maybe Gambino. We do like Gambino. We do like Outcast. I think everything else is not very similar. Parenting styles completely different. Relationship styles completely different. Work ethic and what we want to do for a living completely different. But I would still consider that dude one of my best friends, because every time that I've ever reconnected, we're so different that we're like, freaking hang out.
If you feel like a relationship or friendship is not where it used to be or where you'd like it, are you having that conversation?
No, because realistically, I'm the emotional side of it.
Right.
I'm the person that goes, so I was feeling like you don't, and they're like, what's wrong with you? I mean, those are the people that I was like, it's hard
to let it go.
I have to.
Hmm.
I want to push the conversation, but I mean, it's one of those things like when a dynamic changes and I didn't change at all. I mean, where's the difference? Because you do it as a kind of a science experiment. It's like I've always been this way.
But if you don't know, if you don't ask, how would you ever know? Like if you've never had the conversation with someone, like if you felt like something was off and you've never asked the person, hey, are we good? Like, are we everything okay? Like if you don't have that conversation.
So it's kind of like calling me as a kettle black. Like, you don't do any of that.
I'm not saying you should. I was just asking you a question.
Like, so I'm like sitting there like, but I mean, should you? Or should I?
If there was a friendship that I have that I feel like it's not where it needs to be, and if I'm making an effort and it's still not coming back to where it should be,
you cut off the relationship.
If it's
that's
not
historic.
working,
I mean, that's yeah.
but you still.
Isn't that true? Isn't that what you do?
But if it's
That's what I do.
I haven't had that many friendships where I've let them go. Like if the ones that I've let go have
Same.
just been like, hey, do you want to go do something? And then if people just don't respond to me, I'm like, okay, then they don't want to hang out with me.
That's literally what I'm saying. That's all I do.
Yeah, but those aren't that meaningful. Yours sometimes I feel like could be real. Like if Lucy all of a sudden stopped talking to you, would you just be like, I guess that's done?
No.
Right. You'd be like, hey, we okay? What happened? What'd I do?
Well, not. I mean,
So I'm just trying to what determines, because it's for everybody. I mean, that's a question for everybody. Like what determines when a relationship's like, no, I really want to save this one versus like, I guess that one's done.
well, I mean, I will show up for any of my relationships. That is truth. It's. I also like. I feel like this is guided towards a direction that we're trying to evade on a podcast.
Okay, let me say this then before you say something. So I was having this conversation with Rebecca, and she has two-ish, three friends where she's like, I don't know how to make the relationship better. So I'm messaging, and then like every once in a while they'll respond, or take them like weeks to say something back.
Yeah, I heard that.
And she's like, so am I supposed to be like, let's keep going? Or this is like a sign from them saying like, I don't really want to be your friend, because if I did, I'd put more effort into it. Or is that just who they are as friends?
It could be a little bit of both, but it also depends on how long is this friendship and how did this friendship begin?
Right.
So I look at it as like, did this friendship, is it a friend of a friend? Is that why you're a friend of this person?
Mm.
Is it a friend of your partner's and that's why you're a friend of this person? Or, it's like, did you meet these guys like on your own? If you met each other on your own and you're just like, you're the only two people that there's nobody in between you two, like not a friend of a friend, not your spouse's friends, not your spouse's, whatever, it's like, there's no connection in there. You weren't forced into the conversation.
Yeah.
Then yes, absolutely. I was like, what's up, dude? Like we were friends.
Yeah.
Like you and I used to go have pizza and do shots. And go out and do stupid crap. I was like, now all of a sudden you don't even respond to a text. But if it's on the other end of it, it was like, maybe that person has like going, hey, I only put in the time because you're a friend of a friend.
Right.
Or you're, it's like, so I put in the effort and to me, it just wasn't worth it. So I'm not responding to you anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I don't think people do it consciously, but they're kind of like, I really don't need that.
Yeah.
That's a little much for me.
We don't have that much in common.
Yeah. I was
The
like,
thing we have in common is still there, but
it's situational.
Yeah.
It's not, it's kind of like having a work friend.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah. You work with somebody and it's like, you're willing to go out and have drinks with them after work. I was like, yeah, because there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
We all go out, but at the end of the day, it was like, you're not going to go to a premiere of your favorite movie together because that's not who you do that with, So I look at it that way too.
See, and that's so hard because like I only knew Erlia through work, right? Like
But that's different.
That's all.
If you meet somebody at work, it's different if you meet somebody at work. But if they're a work friend and let's say you have Erlia as your work friend, but her friends are there too. You have no obligation to them.
Right.
Right? No obligation to them.
No, I was going to say I find it interesting how there are certain people who are work friends you can hang out with like a lot. But then once you don't work there anymore, you're like,
we have nothing in common.
Yeah. Erlia and Taruli, I've probably known the longest, are like my 2 longest people I know who I've known from work, but I can still go and see them and catch up. And it's like, nothing's changed.
Well, it also has to do with this. I feel like it has to do with this. Do they really want to know where you're coming from? And do they really want to listen to how your life is? Or they just want to tell you about theirs?
Fair. Yeah. That's very fair. When you go to see, is it just, I just want to have lunch with you because I want to tell you everything that's going on with me. Oh, yeah, but, oh, by the way, how are you? Like, well, It's over now.
Sometimes they don't even ask that.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, you're like, okay, well, we're okay.
Yeah.
Like that's not a, and I'm not saying that goes in seasons also.
Yes,
So
agreed.
let's not
I
look at
agree.
it. It's not a one-time conversation.
No.
You don't ask about me, so I'm
No,
out. I was
no.
like, okay,
I'm talking about like consistently
like-
never asks.
my wife just went through a miscarriage and I just lost my job.
Right.
So you talking about yourself is probably
Right.
not what I'm going to ask about right
Yeah.
now. You know? So it's situational.
Yeah.
It goes in seasons and it goes in waves. But no, I definitely have relationships in my life that I wish I had more of a relationship with certain people. Facts. It's very true.
Yeah.
But I do find that my personality is a lot for a lot of people to consume.
Yeah.
So if people are truly like actual introverted people, then I'm not your flavor.
Right.
I might be your flavor of the week, but there's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
You know, so you can spend time with me for like a couple days and then it was like, I don't
That's a lot.
need to see you because
Yeah.
I'm exhausted.
Right.
So I might exhaust some people and I totally get that. If you're on the other end of it where they call it Debbie Downer on SNL. If you're one of those people, I was like, you're draining me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that a person that has the downer thing going as a season, everybody needs their moment. Everybody needs their moment to shine. Everybody needs their moment to wallow. Everybody needs their moment to be the center of, I need your hugs or your praise or whatever. But if that's what you're doing all of the time, I'm not your person.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'll be your hype man forever if you're doing something about your life.
Right.
1000%. But if you're not doing anything about your life, I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you want to consistently complain about your job, consistently complain about your kids, consistently complain about your wife, and you complain about, I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, cause I mean, I complain about all of those things in a situational aspect and then I move on. Like when they were talking about it before, my thought was, what I was talking about? I was like, we were talking about other people's spouses. And I was like, if that person hasn't changed in like, we're talking about, let's say 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
if that person hasn't changed in 10 years, what are you expecting?
Right.
I mean, because you've changed in 10 years dramatically.
Yeah.
I've changed in 10 years dramatically. Just the way it is.
Yeah.
But if somebody's staying the same and somebody is changing for the better or for the worse, you guys are not compatible anymore.
Right.
You're not moving in the same direction. So if you're not moving in the same direction, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I think that's every friendship. I mean, I have friends that it was like, hey, we had to put that on pause, but we didn't say, okay, we're going to have to take a pause from this relationship. Or like, I'm doing so many other things. I have small children right now and you have adult children. I'm like, okay, then we're not going to hang out as much.
Right.
Just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, I like to have beers and you're more of a weed smoker.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not going to have as much common go out and have a good time stuff, but our commons might be pizza, might be certain music, might be certain movies, you know, because my buddy Roberto back in the day had barely anything in common besides video games, and we really liked premieres of movies. Outside of that, we didn't have a lot.
Yeah.
But I consider this guy one of my Aparicio. He was one of my best friends at the time. Because I could call him, I was like, dude, did you eat tonight? And he goes, no, not yet. Like, you want to go to it's called The Rock. They did Stone Pizza, whatever, there in the Northwest. Do you want to go out there and get some people? It's like, yeah, I do. So we'd go out there, we'd have pizza. We'd go play video games for like an hour. And we'd only spend like 3 or 4 hours. And then we were good.
Yeah.
That's a great friend. That's somebody that's like, hey, I have a need to fill. You have a need to fill. Let's fill that need for each other. It's kind of like the friends with benefits shit. Isn't that the same thing as friends with benefits?
Yes. Okay,
but
question.
pizza and beer.
Do you find it harder as we get older to maintain friendships?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why? Why do what?
What do you mean?
I feel the same way. Why
We
is
had
it
less
harder
free.
for
We
us?
had more free time, and now we're getting real. Let's be real. Let's talk logistics. We're about a year away from having more free time.
Wait, I'm confused by your question. When did we have more free time? We had kids since we were 18 years old.
Yeah,
When did we have more free time?
we didn't understand what it took to maintain a household when we were younger.
Okay.
So we were oblivious.
Right.
We were thinking we go to work, bathe our kids, put them to bed, take them to the sitter, go to work, come back. But we thought that was, I mean, realistically, we thought that was spending time with our family and do all that stuff. So as we started understanding, there was like, that's not what it takes to be a good parent. Like we got to be present. We got to go to their plays. We got to go to their things. We got to go to their, and then all of a sudden we go, okay, we don't have as much time as we thought.
Right.
So we couldn't fit in our friendships as much. So we relied on our ride or dies. Like it could be a ride or die people, or your family, or your community, or your, village, but I don't know. Sometimes when you're relying on your village, those aren't real, those aren't real friendships. Sometimes as you get older, you find out that village was a village to help you get everybody to get through this, and then find out only one or two of those people are actually your friends. You do find that out. But during that time, you're not establishing friendships. You're just doing stuff.
Right.
And then the cream rises to the top. Like you find a few friendships out of that. Like the people that were your ride or dies, or the people that showed up for you. The people that actually reciprocated the efforts, the back and forth type of thing.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't been a very good friend.
I think if we were all actually what's it called? Perspective?
Self-aware.
Self-aware. We all should, we would all say that. We would all say that. Because if you think, oh man, I was a great friend, you're an arrogant pig. You just are.
Some people are really good friends.
But the people that are really good friends, they're not going to say I was a really good friend. I've always been a really great friend. Those are not the good friends. It's like somebody saying, I am the most humblest person you'll ever find.
Best daughter.
No, but it's like, think about that. It's becoming somebody's best friend. You say, this person's my best friend. You don't go, I'm your best friend. I was like, well, that's arrogant.
True.
I mean, you could say it as a joke, but it was like, it's just arrogant.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. So best friends will never claim to be the best friend.
Yeah.
If they're actually a really good friend.
I mean, I'd say I'm Valerie's best friend all the time.
That's different.
I don't know if she agrees.
You guys prove it. No, you guys prove it to each other. Like if it's like, let's go do a trip, and there's like, she hates doing that stuff, but she did it and she had a blast, and you guys have a good relationship, those kind of things. And that's another discussion we should have on here too. At one point, is like your spouse's friend's spouse.
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
I don't know. I think about that with Vernita. Because I'm like, I love Vernita, but I don't talk to her that often.
You're not, because Willie is one of my best friends, right? And Vernita's like, she's an amazing human being. Yeah. But she'll never be my best friend.
Right.
And I can't force her to be your best friend.
Right.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But it's also like, yeah, so what do you do with that?
I don't know. Just hang out when I see her.
Because
I chat. I mean, we chat. Like, well,
she was a blast to hang out with before I even met you.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it. She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's
so very kind.
And very opinionated at the same time.
Yeah.
That's Willie too. They're so kind and still opinionated.
Yeah.
I feel this is going to put us on a pedestal. I'm ready for it.
Okay.
we are very opinionated people.
Yeah.
We're also very kind.
Agree.
And some people don't see how kind we are because of our opinions.
That's fair.
They feel like there's this wall. I was like, I'll do anything for you, and I don't even have to tell anybody about it. Like the stuff that we are able to do and want to do for people, and all we got to know is it's a need. We got you. Like, it doesn't need to be a big deal. I can have an opinion about it. It doesn't mean I'm judging you. Well, yes,
I am judging
you.
But I'm still gonna help you. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. I'm not gonna say any of that. I'm gonna tell Scooter.
I'll tell you you're wrong.
I'm gonna judge you to Scooter.
I'll tell you you're wrong.
Why?
Because that's my opinion. Me telling you you're wrong is literally just my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to most things. I was like, I feel I'm right until I'm proven wrong. What? Isn't that everybody though?
No, sometimes I feel like I'm wrong a lot.
Because you have that doubt, right? But if you're going in going, I know this, I'm not wrong, I'm right.
Yeah.
Until somebody goes, well, this, and you go, well, crap. You have the right to change your mind because you got some new information.
Very true.
That's it. That's all it is. That's all life is.
I agree. Well, so I just want to talk about friends. That's all.
Okay.
Friends as an adult is making friends is rough as an adult. Keeping them is weird.
Making friends is way more difficult, I feel like, than
Look,
keeping.
we almost made a couple friend with the Lopez's.
Yeah, we're almost there.
We're all.
We don't want to put out a name.
It's only taken 10 years, but
You talking about George Lopez? Oh
only
my
taken
gosh.
4 years, but I think we're almost got a friend.
No, I feel like it's
and a couple friends.
Yeah, and they're completely different than we are. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
But I think that's more people than you think. Like, I really feel like the last place we lived, we could have easily been our neighbor's friend.
Mm.
But you never met them.
I did meet them.
What?
I just never sat and had a
When somebody
conversation
got
with
a
them.
car stolen?
Nobody
when I went outside.
No, I met them multiple
I
times.
had multiple beers with them. I went to their house multiple times.
Nobody ever invited me in. When you went to go do stuff,
You said you go do that. You said, yeah, go do that.
that was like one time.
That was 3 times.
No, it was the last, because the first time I didn't know. The first time you're like, I have to go do this. I'm going to talk to neighbor. And then you were gone for hours.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
I was making friends.
Right.
I have his phone number. I guarantee you right now, if I messaged him, we would go drink an 805 beer.
Let's go to his house. Show it.
He'd be like, come on in.
I know.
Because and they would do that to you too, but you don't.
No.
It's hard for me to go over there by myself and say, yeah, my wife. And they're like, where's your wife?
She doesn't exist.
I was like, is she in the basement? We don't have basements.
That's creepy.
I dug a hole in the garage.
Okay.
No, but seriously, like that's kind of, I was like,
Yeah, because there's always that odd dynamic too when you have a spouse or a partner, then you're like, so do we all have to be friends? Is every time I hang out with a friend, do you have to hang out with friends? Is that like an always thing?
Not always, but I feel like there should be some times
where
you have couples as friends and those, especially like if I know the neighbors, I feel like you should know them too.
Yeah, I met them.
You've met our neighbors?
Yeah.
All 4 of them?
I met these guys with the dog.
Yeah, because I walked
the husband and the wife. No, you didn't.
No, I met her. I met her.
Yeah.
And I met him multiple times. I've pet the dog a few times.
Waved to these guys.
These guys I've met. I've met our side neighbors. Left, right, and then across the street. I've met those 3 neighbors.
You didn't go meet her though. She came to meet you.
She definitely came to me.
Yeah.
I was
that wasn't a choice.
like, well, hi. I'm like, hello. I'm just getting my mail. No, it wasn't a bad
7
thing.
steps out the door.
It wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. I was just like, I have stuff to do in like 10 minutes, but right. But I didn't want to tell her. It's like, hey, I'm really busy. You know, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about that. Her name's Lou.
the
We got
pilot.
Rico.
Mo, we were talking about names. She's like, "Do you know what your name means?" I said, "Princess." She's like, "You already know this." I said, "Yeah, I know my name means princess." So then she looked it up and she's like, "Do you know what also means beloved?" And I was like, "Oh, that's nice." She's like, "I don't think I've met a Sarah who wasn't just like chill and easy to talk to." And I was
It
like,
depends.
"That's
Do you
nice."
spell with an H?
that was the first thing she asked me. "How do you spell Sarah?" I said, "With an H." And she looked it up. She's like, "Do you know what it means beloved?" I'm like, "No, I know it means princess." She's like, "I don't think I've ever met a Sarah who wasn't just like kind and chill." I'm like, "Well, that's nice. Thank you for thinking I'm kind and chill." I'm not. I'm just kidding.
That's, Scott means you're from Scotland.
Huh?
I think that's why I don't like Scott so much.
That's my cousin's name.
I know, but I just feel that's my name. Scott's sake.
Your name's Vincente.
I know, but Scott just means you're from Scotland.
Oh, yeah, it's boring.
Like, I don't know if there's another.
There probably is.
I don't think so.
It's probably in like the Scottish language. Maybe it means something.
Badass MF.
Probably not.
More the Vincent,
Probably means like clover.
right? Or Bush.
Oh gosh.
Or Pete.
Yeah.
Like mud.
Probably. Reeds.
Means mud.
All right, let's get out of here and watch
soggy
some
ground.
stuff. You know who has a coupon for Nord?
Oh no. I don't even know what that means.
NordVPN.
Oh, NordVPN.
Yeah. Shag Marinoid.
I was like, Trevor Noah.
No, they have their own coupon code right
Are
now.
you talking about other podcasts right now? Promoting other podcasts?
No, not
All right. It's been fun. I know that everybody's left us in the live. Yeah. But we're still here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna keep going. But it's not gonna be live. We're gonna turn off the cameras.
Yeah.
And hang out. I
Say
don't know
some
what we're gonna
offensive things.
do. No. I don't think so. Are you gonna?
Yeah, I have a funny joke to tell you, but I can't say it on here.
Oh. Was it a partridge in a pear tree?
No. And I'm gonna play Gentle Rain because I haven't played it in days.
Yeah, a Gentle Rain. We are going to do a demo video soon of a Gentle Rain. It's not entertaining.
Right.
That's fact. But it's the game that I have a copy of it right here too. We both have a copy that we've been testing it and playing it and do these things. We cannot talk about it enough. Let's look at this. We cannot talk about this one enough. Our lead instructor, she is working on that game right now too.
Nice.
She has a copy of it, and we're talking about, we want to talk about putting this implementing it into our classrooms. I'm going to give a copy to Lever Consulting.
Nice.
So she can look through it and see what we can do, because it's so simply, beautifully designed.
Yeah.
You play it by yourself, or you can play with other people.
I don't like that.
I think that's the point, because Sarah doesn't like people. That's why we had to talk about friends and the lack thereof. Yeah. No, but we cannot talk about that enough.
Yeah.
We will be playing, as you can see in the camera there, we will be playing another demo of Finding Calm very soon. And we will definitely be having Change My Mind and Tiger Banana Pancake back on the stream. It might be just one of those streams to where we don't do anything else, but
yeah,
because we're like, screw tonight, we just want to play games.
Yeah.
Be
next.
Maybe. Depends. I mean, she says that all the time, and then we find out we're doing something different. So
Sure.
Yeah, listen to our past podcasts.
Listen to your heart.
That's no.
Thanks, guys.
You've already screwed up 2 songs tonight.
I think 3 actually.
3. I was rounding down to the nearest 2. All right. Love you guys. We will see you very soon. Just remember, show up in real life. That's what we've been trying to do. If you want to be our friend, let us know.
We have spaces. We have openings.
We have openings, because I feel like it's that N+1. How many friends do you got? Think of that number.
1 more.
And how many do you need? 1 more.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, you do.
What you're saying.
You do. And that's where you aren't growing because you're not plus oneing.
It's
All
true.
right. Love you guys. We will talk to you soon.
Loved it. Bye.
We're gonna try that one more time. Okay.
He's on my dance moves.
Well, yeah. Let's do this one more time. Okay. We're gonna do it. See if it plays it right.
And I loved it.